Time skips to lunch. You and Jungkook were alone at house as Sarah went to college and Mr. and Mrs. Kim went to meet their old friend. You both were in living room when Jungkook asked you, Jungkook, should I order something? Wine looked at him. Leave it. I will cook something. Jungkook, do you know how to cook? I mean, you didn't like cooking. Wine, I have learned a lot of things in past year. Jungkook went silent after hearing you and you cooked ramen as it was of both of your favorite. Jungkook was about to eat the hot ramen when you stopped him. Wine, it's hot. You will burn your mouth. Wait. You started feeding him ramen while he was all silent. Jungkook in mind. Wine, I hurted you, but still, why are you taking my care? After 4 to 5 bites, Jungkook spoke. Jungkook, I guess now it must be cool, so let me eat by myself and you also eat, otherwise your food will get cold. You both started eating and there was an awkward silence. Jungkook in mind. I never imagined that there would be an awkward silence between us. When Mark entered and saw you both, he got so shocked when he entered inside. He met you and you got so happy by seeing Mark after 2 years. Actually, when you were in last year, after Jungkook proposed you, Mark told everyone that he is going to US to continue his further studies and he returned back after Jungkook's accident and now he is working in Mafia as Jungkook's right hand. Mark went to US just 1 week before because his uncle who lived in US was having some health issues, so to meet him, Mark went to US, but in last 1 week, Jungkook and Wine got married. Mark surprised. Wine? After so long? How you came here? You and Jungkook were silent when Sarah entered. Sarah smiling. Mark, you know the latest news? Mark, no, what's that? Sarah, John Jungkook and Kim Wine got married. Mark was taken aback. He was so shocked. Sarah smiling. You are shocked, right? I know you must be thinking that Jungkook Oppa loves someone else and he will not marry, right? But he finally agreed to marry her. It's amazing, right? Mark looked at both of them confused. While there was an awkward silence when Sarah realized that she spoke a lot and she should not have repeated that things again. You were obviously feeling hurt whenever you hear it, but somehow control your emotions. Jungkook knew that this is hurting you. Jungkook triggered. Sarah, go back to your room. Jungkook's expression changed and he was looking so angry and scary. Sarah, but Oppa, Jungkook shouted, can't you hear me? Sarah, why should I go? And I already told everything to Ni that you loved someone else. And why are you being so triggered? I know you gave that letter to her. I saw that in your room. Mark, which letter? Sarah told everything. It was becoming tough for you to control your emotions and all this was eventually hurting you. Wine, I have some important work, so excuse me. You forced a smile and left from there. Jungkook was now getting triggered because of Sarah and her immaturity, because he knows that it is hurting you and he knows that you must be misunderstanding that there is any other girl in his life, which is not true. He wrote that letter because he didn't knew that the bride is Wine and Sarah don't know that the girl Jungkook loves is no other than Wine. Time skips to night when Jungkook decides that he will tell you the truth that girl Sarah was talking about is none other than you. Jungkook. Wine, actually I want to tell you that the girl Sarah was talking about was... You stopped him. Wine coldly. I don't want to listen anything, Jungkook. I mean, it's your life. You can do anything. You can love any person you want. I don't care and like who am I to ask you? Leave it and no need to tell anything because I don't want to listen. Jungkook sighed and you both laid on the bed when you noticed that your phone is switched off, so you put it on charge and slept. You were obviously hurt, but now you are trying to accept the situation, so you don't want to know about his love because obviously it will only hurt you to know. Next day you woke up. You were going to your friend's house when Sarah entered. Sarah, Unni, are you going somewhere? Wine, Yes, I was going to meet my best friend. Jungkook was also listening everything as he was present there in the room. Mark, oh, which friend, huh? He smug just to tease you because he thought that you are going to meet any guy friend. Vine, yeah, I'm going to meet Lily, alright? You chuckled and went from there. When you reached outside her apartment, you saw that police car was standing there, and when reached inside, you saw so many people standing at the door of her house. Wine worried. Excuse me, what happened? Why are you all standing here? Neighbor, a young girl who lived here got murdered last night. Your heart skipped a beat when you heard this and you quickly went inside the house. But police stopped you when you saw her lifeless form covered with blood. You were stunned, staring at your friend Lily's lifeless form, the room filled with an unsettling silence. The air seemed heavier as you struggled to comprehend the cruel reality before you. The police questioned you about your connection with Lily and if you had any information that might help them in their investigation. The news of her murder left you in a state of shock and disbelief. Your heart felt like a heavy storm, an intricate blend of grief, shock, and disbelief. The news of Lily's murder echoed in your mind, a haunting melody that refused to fade. Every beat of your heart carried the weight of sorrow, and the air around you seemed thick with the pain of loss. As you stood before Lily's lifeless form, your mind raced with memories of your friendship, Lily's vibrant laughter, the shared secrets, and the countless moments that now felt like fragile fragments of the past. The room once filled with their laughter was now a silent testament to the cruel twist of fate. The police inquiries blurred in a background as you grappled with the harsh reality. The image of Lily covered in blood etched itself into your memory, leaving a profound scar. Back to home, you couldn't shake off the haunting image of the crime scene. You went straightly towards your room when Jungkook was already present, so you locked yourself in the washroom. On the other hand, Mark on call. Hello, his assistant. Sir, someone killed Lily. Mark shocked. What? The revelation hit Mark like a tidal wave, leaving him stunned and breathless. Knowing that Wine was aware of Lily's death, he rushed to her room, driven by the urgency to share the heartbreaking news. Mark breathing heavily. Where is Wine? Jungkook confused and concerned. In the washroom? But why are you asking? Mark breathing heavily. Jungkook, Lily got killed. Someone killed Lily. Jungkook's world shattered in that moment. Shock, hurt, and confusion played across his features as he tried to comprehend the magnitude of the tragedy. The news of Lily's murder, delivered in Mark's desperate voice, pierced through the room, leaving an indelible mark on everyone present. As they awaited your return, the room echoed with unspoken emotions, leaving an undescribable heaviness that lingered in the air like a haunting melody. Mark left the room. When he went downstairs, Mr. John, Mrs. John, and Sarah also got to know about Lily's murder from the news. Sarah, grief expression. Mark, how did this happen? Mark, I don't have any idea. Sarah, where is Unni? She went to meet her, right? Mark, yes, she is now in her room. She is so hurt and shocked about this. Lily and Vine were so good friends, or I should say like sisters. Lily's death really hit Vine hard. Mrs. John worried. We should go and try to console her. She must be so depressed. Sarah, Mom, leave her alone for some time and then you can go. Mrs. John, no Sarah, she needs us now. At this time she needs someone. By saying this, Mrs. John went to your room and you were locking yourself in the washroom. Mrs. John, Jungkook, where is Wine? Jungkook, she is in the washroom. Mrs. John knocked the door of the washroom. Wine? Wine? When you didn't answer, she got worried. Mrs. John, Jungkook, she is not answering. What if she... Jungkook worried. Mom, what are you saying? When you suddenly opened the door, your face was all red, eyes were swollen. Mrs. John hugged you tightly. Mrs. John, Vine, are you fine? Look at yourself. Your face is all red. Don't cry. You were still not properly in your senses, as you still need time to accept the situation. But when you looked at Mrs. John, she was so worried about you. Vine, I am fine, Mom. Don't worry. Mrs. John, yes, dear, don't worry. Police will find out the real murderer. And please, now don't cry. You nodded. She hugged you and again and left. Whereas Jungkook was worried for you, but before he could say anything, you went downstairs in the garden. Sat there on the ground alone. When Sarah saw you, he went to your room and Jungkook asked about you. So she helped Jungkook to come downstairs and left Jungkook in the garden. He was standing few steps back from you when Sarah left from there. You were talking to yourself, unaware of his presence, when Jungkook stood there listening to your conversation with yourself. Vine sobbing and looking at the sky. Why does this only happens to me? Huh? Whoever I love leaves me. Why am I that bad and undeserving? Jungkook was silently listening, his eyes becoming numb. Vine. Lily was the only one with whom I could share everything, my every happiness and grief, but you took her away from me. Firstly, I loved Cookie. He was my world, and then he also broke up with me. I even tried to move on, but I can't. I am still stuck there. And now, after so much time, we finally met, and that too in different circumstances. We both are together, but not emotionally. Am I really so bad? Why all of this happens to me? My best friend is not with me anymore. There is no one now who cares for me, with whom I can talk and share my feelings. Why don't I deserve to be loved, huh? You said all this while crying, and Jungkook was standing behind. Tears escaped from his eyes after listening to all this. Vine. I am the problem, right? I am the problem in everybody's life, right? That's why they leave me. So why don't you kill me? You said all this while sobbing. When Jungkook heard these words, he quickly ran in your direction. His stick fell down and hugged you tightly. You were confused and surprised by his sudden action, but you also hugged him out of emotions, and tears escaped from your eyes. Jungkook, what are you saying, Vine? Huh? Do you know what you are saying? I am here with you, so why are you thinking all negative? Don't you dare to say all those words again. Tears rolled down from his cheeks. Vine in mind. Don't do like this, Cookie. You are giving me false hopes. Please, it hurts. It hurts when you say that you are here with me, but you love someone else. You broke the hug and he wiped your tears. Jungkook, don't worry. I will find out who was behind all this. Now don't cry, please. You wiped his tears gently and nodded when tears escaped from your eye again. Seeing him worrying for you reminded you of the same Cookie who used to love you and care for you. Jungkook was holding your hand when your tear fell on his hand. Jungkook concerned. Are you crying again, Viney? You heard Viney after so long from his mouth and a smile crept over your face. He used to call you Viney and you used to call him Cookie. Vine. No, I'm not. Let's go inside. It's cold. Jungkook nodded and you both went inside. Jungkook called someone. Jungkook, have you investigated about my case? Person on call. Yes, sir. I got your mail and please give me 2 to 3 days. I will find it out for sure. Jungkook. Alright. But before that case, I want you to handle another case. One of my friends got murdered last night. I want to know the murderer and everything. Please firstly find it out. Person. Yes, sir. Next day you woke up and saw him sleeping beside you. You were just looking at him, his calm face, soft skin. You got so lost in him and touched his face. When he opened his eyes, he didn't say anything as he knew it must be you. He recognized your touch. Your eyes widened as you noticed that he woke up. So you took your hand back and stood straight. Vine. Actually, your face. There was something on your face, so I was just clearing it. Jungkook stood up. Jungkook, it's okay and thanks for clearing my face. You quickly woke up and went to take bath, and you decided to let Jungkook find out about your bestie Lily. You were feeling little better and you went to Lily's funeral. After coming back from the funeral, you were feeling really heavy after meeting her mom. She was crying so loud and you couldn't control your tears by seeing her condition. You comforted her and after everything you went back home. In funeral, Jungkook and Mark was also present. When you went to the balcony to take some fresh air, you were sitting there and thoughts about Lisa, her body covered with blood, all these pictures were coming in front of you when you decided to stay strong. Vine looking at the sky. Lisa, I know you are seeing us. And you know I am so angry with you. I hate you for leaving us. Have you seen your mom's condition? She was devastated. She was madly crying. How can you do this? But leave it. I will not talk to you. But yeah, I will surely find out about your murderer and will punish him as hard as I could. But that doesn't mean that I forgive you for leaving. I will never forgive you for that. By saying this, a tear dropped from your eye when Sarah came. She tried to comfort you and you both even talked a lot. She was trying her best to light up your mood and she even did it. You talked a lot and then she told you her secret too. Sarah, Unni, you know I love someone so much. Vine surprised and happy. Really? Who is that? Tell me. Sarah excitedly smiling and shy. Mark, she said while smiling. Vine, wow, had you told him about your feelings? Sarah pouted. No, not yet, but soon someday I will. She smiled. You were also happy for her as Mark was a good person and your friend too. When you went to your room, you saw Jungkook rubbing his eyes. Vine concerned. Jungkook, what are you doing? Are you fine? Jungkook, yeah, I'm fine, just feeling a little weird sensation in my eyes. Vine, then we should call the doctor. Wait, let me call him. You were about to dial doctor's number when he stopped you. Jungkook, wait. You looked at him confused. Jungkook, dial this number. He gave you a piece of paper where a number was written. Vine, but this is not the doctor's number, Jungkook. Jungkook, yes, this is of my new doctor. I was consulting him from last 2 months as I was little suspicious about my medicines and doctor because my condition was not getting better nor even a little bit. But when I talked to my doctor friend Dr. Park Jimin, then he analyzed my reports and told me that my condition is getting worse day by day. So he prescribed me medications and I am taking them from last 2 months. You were surprised. Why? But why would the doctor give you the wrong medicine? Jungkook, you don't know why. It's the mafia world and here we can't even trust our family. And trusting a doctor is so far. I have so many enemies. Maybe it's the plan of one of them. You looked at him and nodded in surprise. You quickly called the doctor and Jungkook told everything about his condition on phone to Dr. Park. And he told him a eye cream to apply and an eyedropper to put in eye. That's it. So you quickly ordered the medicine online. After some time when the medicine arrived, Vine, let me apply. Jungkook turned his face in your direction but didn't protested and let you apply. You applied the eye cream and put the eye drops. You helped him lay on the bed. Next day, Jungkook's POV. When I woke up and opened my eyes, I couldn't believe that I could see properly and I was watching the most beautiful view through my eyes. My Vine's face. It's been so long since I saw her beautiful face. She is looking like a cute baby sleeping peacefully. What a coincidence. When I lost my eyesight, the last person I saw was Vine. And now, after 1 year, when I got my eyesight back, now too the first person I saw is Vine. By thinking this, a smile crept on his face when you opened your eyes too. Vine's POV. I suddenly felt someone watching me when I opened my eyes. I saw Jungkook watching me when my eyes meet his. It was a long eye contact. I got lost in his beautiful deep eyes. No one from us was blinking. It was feeling like we were playing a game. Who will blink first will lose the game. When I suddenly blinked, sat straight on bed and Jungkook also stood up. I looked at him surprised as I realized that he was watching straight into my eyes. Did that mean that he can see? Wine. Jungkook, can you? Before you could finish the sentence, he spoke up, smiling and nodding. Jungkook, yes, Wine, I can see you. I can see everything. When he said, while smiling, you know how he must be feeling. It was such a good news. He can finally see after so long. You got super happy and couldn't control your emotions and jumped towards him and hugged him tightly when he too hugged you. It was after so long you were hugging each other and it feels like home. It feels like all the problems of your life disappeared just by being in his embrace. It feels so safe in his arms, but soon you broke the hug and came to your senses. Vine smiling awkwardly. Congratulations and sorry for hugging you. It was just. Before you could finish, he covered your mouth with his hand. Jungkook, it's okay. And don't be sorry for it. You can hug me. It's not illegal, I guess, he said while smiling. You looked at him and nodded and spoke. Wine, let's tell mom and dad about your eyesight. Jungkook serious. No, please don't tell this thing to anyone, not even my parents. I want to know something and I am suspicious about something. So when I will clear everything, only then we can tell this truth. Until then, let's behave like I am still blind. You looked at him and nodded. Time skips to afternoon. Jungkook got a call from his detective to talk about Lily's case. Detective, hello sir, I found out about the murderer. Jungkook curious. Who's that? Detective told him the name of the person and sent all the details to him. And after hearing the name of the person, he got super triggered and shocked. Guess who would be the murderer? Part 3 will be posted soon. Let me know your reviews about this video. Hit the like button if you liked this part and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay updated. I really love to read your lovely comments, so I will be waiting for your comments. Take care.